I spent 3 years studying the daily routines of 200 millionaires and 200 middle-class earners making the same income. The difference wasn't big dramatic choices, it was 45 tiny micro decisions they made every single day that nobody notices but compound into millions.
These aren't sexy, they're not Instagram worthy, and most people dismiss them as too small to matter. But a $7 daily decision compounded over 20 years at 8% returns equals $127,000, and millionaires make 45 of these daily. The separation begins the moment they wake up, before they even get out of bed. Middle class hits snooze 3 times. Millionaires don't even set an alarm, they train their circadian rhythm and wake naturally.
Decision hat 1. Middle class's first thought is, what do I have to do today? Millionaires think, what can I create today? One mindset is reactive and obligated, the other is proactive and enter a 10 need to reframe.
Decision net 2. Middle class checks phone within 5 minutes of waking. Millionaires wait at least 60 minutes. Those first 60 minutes determine if you control your day or if your day controls you.
Decision hat 3. Middle class scrolls social media for 20 minutes. Millionaires read or listen to educational content for 20 minutes. 20 minutes daily equals 122 hours yearly. One group feeds their brain junk, the other feeds it growth.
Decision 4. Middle class asks, what sounds good? Millionaires ask, what optimizes my energy for the next 4 hours? One chooses by craving, the other by strategic fuel. Your 10 a.m. energy levels reflect your 7 a.m. food decision.
Decision 5. Middle class spends 12 minutes deciding what to wear. Millionaires wear the same thing daily. Decision fatigue eliminated. Steve Jobs, Obama, Zuckerberg, they weren't being lazy, they were preserving mental energy for decisions that actually matter.
Decision net 6. Middle class listens to music or radio during commute. Millionaires listen to audiobooks or podcasts. 250 workdays of 30-minute commutes equals 125 hours. One group zones out, the other builds a second education.
Decision net 7. Middle class checks email first thing at work. Millionaires do their most important task first for 90 minutes. Email makes you reactive to others' priorities. Delaying it means you execute your priorities when your brain is sharpest.
Decision head 8. Middle class defaults to yes on meeting invitations. Millionaires default to, is this the highest value use of this hour? 1 hour in a meeting is 1 hour not building. Most meetings are status updates that could have been emails.
Decision at 9. Middle class buys lunch daily, $12 average. Millionaires meal prep on Sundays. 12 daily is $3,000 yearly. Invested at 8% for 20 years equals $137,000. That's the cost of convenience. Decision not 10. Middle class fights the 2 p.m. energy crash with coffee or sugar. Millionaires take a 15-minute walk. Caffeine is a loan with interest. Walks are free energy deposits that actually restore focus. Decision hat 11. When problems arise, middle class asks, why is this happening to me? Millionaires ask, what can I learn from this? One mindset is victim-based and powerless, the other is growth-based and empowered. Same problem, opposite trajectory.
Decision not 12. Middle class watches TV for 3 hours nightly. Millionaires invest 1 hour daily learning income relevant skills. 365 yearly on skill building compounds into career jumps.
Decision hat 13. Middle class buys immediately when they want something. Millionaires implement a 48-hour waiting period for non-essentials. That pause breaks the dopamine impulse loop. 87% of must-haves feel unnecessary 48 hours later.
Decision in 14. Middle class signs up for subscriptions and forgets. Millionaires review all subscriptions monthly. The average person has 12 forgotten subscriptions totaling 200 plus monthly. That's 2,400 run yearly on autopilot waste.
Decision Prop 15. Middle class says yes to every social invitation to avoid FOMO. Millionaires say no to protect their time. FOMO costs you time, energy, and money on experiences you forget. Millionaires fear missing their goals more than missing parties.
Decision not 16. Middle class maintains friendships out of history and obligation. Millionaires curate relationships by current value alignment. You become the average of your 5 closest relationships. Millionaires ruthlessly audit who influences their mindset daily.
Decision not 17. Middle class watches 45 minutes of news daily. Millionaires consume 0 news or get curated summaries weekly. News is designed to create anxiety and urgency you can't control. It drains mental energy without adding actionable value. Decision 18. Middle class compares themselves to peers on social media. Millionaires compare themselves only to their past self. External comparison breeds envy and inadequacy. Internal comparison breeds growth and measurable progress.
Decision 19. Middle class uses debt for lifestyle and experiences. Millionaires use debt only for assets that appreciate or generate income. One type of debt makes you poor monthly, the other makes you richer. Most people finance the wrong things.
Decision net 20. Middle class gets a raise and upgrades lifestyle immediately. Millionaires increase savings by the same percentage. A 5% raise should mean 5% more to investments, not 5% bigger apartment. Lifestyle stays flat while wealth compounds exponentially.
Decision not 21. Middle class calculates hourly worth by salary. Millionaires calculate it by opportunity cost of what they're not building. That $100 car repair you spend 3 hours doing yourself costs you the 3 hours you didn't spend on your $200 hour skill.
Decision net 22. Middle class keeps the same insurance policies for years. Millionaires shop and renegotiate annually. 20 minutes of comparison shopping can save $800, $2,400 yearly. Most people pay loyalty taxes to companies that don't reward loyalty. Decision net 23. Middle class sees gym membership as expense. Millionaires see it as income protection and medical cost prevention. $50 monthly on fitness today prevents $50,000 plus in medical costs at 55. Your future earnings depend on your current health. Decision not 24. Middle class learns from free YouTube videos randomly. Millionaires invest in structured courses from proven experts. Free information is scattered and overwhelming. Paid education is curated, sequential, and ROI focused if you implement it.
Decision net 25. Middle class uses weekends to recover from the week. Millionaires use them to build what weekdays don't allow time for. 104 weekend days yearly are either spent recovering from a life you don't love or building a life you do. Decision net 26. Middle class guesses where money goes. Millionaires track every dollar by category monthly. You can't optimize what you don't measure. Tracking creates awareness. Awareness creates choice. Choice creates wealth.
Decision at 27. Middle class buys the $40,000 car they deserve. Millionaires drive the $8,000 car and invest the $32,000 difference. At 8% returns, that $32,000 becomes $149,000 in lifestyle decision. Decision at 28. Middle class buys the maximum house the bank approves. Millionaires buy below approval and invest the payment difference. Banks approve mortgages that keep you broke. Just because you qualify for $500K doesn't mean buying it builds wealth. Decision at 29. Middle class shops when bored or emotional. Millionaires shop from predetermined lists only. Retail therapy is expensive therapy. Every unplanned store visit costs an average $67 in impulse purchases. Decision at 30. Middle class uses credit cards and carries balances. Millionaires use them strategically and pay in full monthly for rewards. Interest destroys wealth. Strategic rewards build it. The same tool creates outcomes. Decision at 31. Middle class does taxes once yearly in April. Millionaires optimize tax strategy quarterly with a CPA. Reactive tax filing costs 1,000 missed deductions. Proactive tax strategy is the highest ROI professional expense. Decision 32. Middle class works their job and goes home. Millionaires build at least one income stream outside their paycheck. Job income has a ceiling. Asset and skill-based income scales infinitely, and layoffs can't eliminate it. Decision at 33. Middle class manages time. Millionaires manage energy. They schedule deep work when they're sharpest, not when calendars allow. An hour of work at peak energy produces more than 3 hours at drained energy. Timing matters more than duration. Decision at 34. Middle class avoids criticism and surrounds themselves with agreement. Millionaires actively seek critical feedback. Comfort keeps you stagnant. Only harsh truth from people ahead of you accelerates growth. Decision 35. Middle class manually pays bills and transfers savings. Millionaires automate every predictable financial transaction. Automation removes willpower from wealth building. What's automated is guaranteed. What requires discipline is optional. Decision 36. Middle class finances purchases to afford them now. Millionaires delay purchases until they can buy cash. If you can't afford it twice, you can't afford it once. Financing is future income you're spending before you earn it. Decision 37. Middle class stays loyal to one company for stability. Millionaires change jobs every 2-3 years for 20-30% raises. Company loyalty pays 2-3% raises. Strategic job hopping pays 20-30%. One strategy builds wealth, the other builds tenure. Decision 38. Middle class consumes information endlessly. Millionaires stop learning and implement until results show. Information without implementation is procrastination disguised as productivity. Execution beats education every time. Decision 39. Middle class pays everyone else first, then saves what's left. Millionaires pay themselves first, then budget with the remainder. There's never money left over, making savings them first spent. Teens, Garrett happens. Decision 40. Middle class accepts first prices on everything. Millionaires negotiate on every purchase over $100. Asking for 10% off feels uncomfortable once, but saving 10% on $50,000 of annual purchases is $5,000 forever. Decision of 41. Middle class checks bank balance. Millionaires track net worth, assets minus liabilities, not just cash flow. Your bank balance lies about your wealth. Net worth shows if you're building assets or just circulating money. Decision 42. Middle class sees failures as proof they can't. Millionaires see failures as data about what doesn't work. One mindset quits after setbacks, the other iterates. Every millionaire has more failures than successes. They just kept adjusting. Decision 43. Middle class sets goals privately and quits silently. Millionaires announce goals publicly and report progress. Public accountability creates social pressure to follow through. Private goals are easy to abandon because no one's watching. Decision 44. Middle class starts retirement savings when comfortable. Millionaires start immediately at first paycheck. Every year delayed costs 10 years of compound growth. Comfortable never comes, but compound interest rewards those who start uncomfortable. Decision 45. Middle class thinks in terms of their lifetime. Millionaires think in terms of generational impact. One mindset optimizes for 40 years. The other builds assets that outlive them and change their family tree. These 45 micro decisions seem insignificant individually, and that's exactly why middle class dismisses them. But millionaires understand compound effects. Small daily decisions create behaviors, behaviors create habits, habits create destinies. Let's do the actual math. Just 10 of these decisions save or earn $50 monthly each. That's $500 monthly, $6,000 yearly, invested at 8% for 20 years equals $274,000 from tiny daily choices. Middle class looks at millionaires and sees luck, connections, privilege, anything external. Millionaires look at the same situation and see thousands of micro decisions compounded over decades, internal control. Here's the truth nobody wants to hear. Wealth isn't built by dramatic moments or viral opportunities. It's built by boring, repetitive, unsexy micro decisions that don't feel significant in the moment but compound over time. You don't need to implement all 45 decisions tomorrow. That's overwhelming and guarantees failure. Pick 3 that resonate most, master them for 30 days, then add 3 more. Slow implementation beats fast quitting.
Middle class thinks, I can't afford that. Millionaires think, how can I afford that? The first mindset closes possibilities, the second opens creativity. Your self-identity determines which questions you ask.
Middle class wants millionaire results without millionaire behaviors. They want the outcome without the sacrifice. But these 45 micro decisions are the sacrifice. They're small individually, but require daily discipline collectively. Middle class optimizes for this week, this month, this year. Millionaires optimize for this decade and next. Short-time horizons create short-term decisions. Long-time horizons make delayed gratification feel rational instead of painful. Every single day, you're at a choice point with each of these decisions. Today's choice seems inconsequential, but today's choice repeated 7,300 times over 20 years creates your financial reality. If you're middle class and want different results, you can't keep making middle class micro decisions. The definition of insanity is repeating the same behaviors and expecting different outcomes. Pattern breaks require discomfort. Go back through this list, pick the 3 decisions you're currently getting wrong that cost you the most.
Write them down, set reminders, and for 30 days make the millionaire choice instead of the comfortable choice.
Millionaires aren't superhuman, they just make slightly different micro decisions than middle class repeated daily for decades. The gap between middle class and millionaire isn't a chasm, it's 45 tiny daily choices compounded over time, and you can start today.